International Day of Yoga is the celebration of India's gift to the world, and that is yoga. Observed every year on the 21st of June, this day celebrates the holistic benefits of yoga on our physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. Hello and welcome to Drishti IAS. My name is Saloni Nankyulier, and today we will see why this day is in news. What is the International Day of Yoga? We will learn a little bit about yoga, the history of yoga, and also look at a practice question for prelims. So why is this day in news? Because today is 21st of June and every year on this day we celebrate the International Day of Yoga worldwide. And why do you think this day was selected? So 21st of June is the longest day of the year. It's the summer solstice, and this is something that's known as Dakshinyan, which means that our sun starts with its southward journey. So during this time of the year, people are engaged in spiritual activities and religious activities, connecting with their inner self. So that is one of the reasons that 21st of June specifically was selected to be celebrated as the International Day of Yoga. And the theme for this year is Yoga for One Earth, One Health. And when did all this start? So India is the motherland of yoga. India is where yoga originated from. And the idea to celebrate the International Day of Yoga was also a brainchild of India. So India gave this idea during the 69th session of the United Nations General Assembly, which was held in 2014. And the very same year, in 2015, we hosted the first International Yoga Day celebrations at Rajpath in New Delhi. And we created 2 Guinness World Records because this was world's largest yoga session. 35,985 people from 84 nationalities participated in this event, and because it was celebrated on such a large scale, on such a grand scale, this created 2 Guinness World Records. Now, if you understand what yoga is, so yoga does not deal only with the physical fitness of the body. It takes care of your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual well-being, and it talks about the union of Atma with Brahm. So the word yoga is derived from the Sanskrit word yuj, which means to join or unite, and this symbolizes the union of body and consciousness. And this is celebrated across the world in various forms because of the advanced benefits that this has. And if you look at the history of yoga, so yoga is not something that originated in the modern times. It dates back to the ancient times. It dates back to the Harappan Valley civilization. 2700 BCE, we have something which is known as the Pashupati seal. And this Pashupati, or the Lord of Animals, is sitting in a yogic posture, which is known as Mool Bandh Asan. So because Pashupati is believed to be sitting in this yogic posture, we anticipate, we speculate that this goes back, like yoga goes back to the Harappan Valley civilization. And even post Harappan Valley, during the Vedic times, the word yoga was first mentioned in ancient Sanskrit text of Rig Veda. And it also finds mention in Atharvaveda. In Atharvaveda, you don't have the word yoga mentioned, but it talks about the importance of controlling the breath. So Rig Veda, Atharvaveda, they also talk about it, but we cannot exactly pinpoint the exact timeline of this because Vedas are aparushe. They are not written by humans. They were spread by the word of mouth. So we cannot pinpoint to the exact era, but we find mention in the Rig Veda and Atharvaveda also. Post the Vedic era, we have pre-classical era, which was predominated by Upanishads. So we have 108 Upanishads, and out of the 108 Upanishads, 20 are Yoga Upanishads. So Yoga Upanishads, they deal with the different types of yoga, asan, pranayam, and sadhana, dhyan, samadhi, things of that sort. So there are 20 Yoga Upanishads in total, and this tells us how important yoga has been since ancient times. Post this, even in the classical period, we see that yoga grew from Hinduism and it entered into Buddhism and Jainism. So in Buddhism, it was introduced by Gautam Buddha, and in Jainism, it was introduced by Lord Mahavir. After Buddhism and Jainism, we see that Maharishi Patanjali, who is considered to be the father of yoga, so yoga is one of the 6 classical schools of philosophy. So Maharishi Patanjali founded the Yoga school of philosophy, and he introduced something which is known as Raja Yoga. Raja Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga. So what do we mean by Raja Yoga? Just like a king has complete control over his kingdom, in Raja Yoga we focus on self-mastery. we focus on controlling our inner self, our inner emotions through meditation. So Raja Yoga was introduced by Maharishi Patanjali, and Ashtanga, or also known as 8 limbs, it talks about the 8 limbs of yoga like pranayam, sadhana, samadhi, niyam, yam, all these things. It is talked about in the Ashtanga Yoga. Then in the post-classical period, this is the time of Bhakti movement. We see Adi Shankaracharya, Madhavacharya, Ramanujacharya, Mirabai and Purandar Das, they are also practicing yogic traditions. So yoga was never lost. It was always there. It has been there since the time immemorial, since Harappan civilization, then during Vedic times also, then in Buddhism, Jainism also, and then during Bhakti tradition also, we see yoga being present in the Indian civilization. Post this, in the modern period, Swami Vivekananda is considered to be one of the most modern yogis who focused on yoga as a manner of being physically strong. And after Maharishi Vivekananda, we have Ramana Maharishi, Ramakrishna Paramhans, B.K.S. Iyer, Pattabha Jois, a lot of people who practiced yogic tradition. So yoga has always been there and it is just growing and evolving as the time passes by. Now, because yoga has been so engraved in the Indian culture, in the Indian civilization, there have been a couple of initiatives that India has taken in this regard, because India wants to establish itself as a global leader in yoga. So it has done some things like the Ministry of Ayush, in its common yoga protocol, has listed yam, niyam, asan. All these things are the limbs of Ashtanga Yoga, which was introduced by Patanjali Maharshi. Among the popular yoga sadhanas, then the Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council has also introduced vocational education courses in yoga for CBSE schools. So we are also focusing on encouraging students, school-going students, to practice yoga for their physical and mental wellness. Then under the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, where we focus on skill training, vocational training, we have identified 96,196 candidates to be trained as yoga instructors and trainers to the various skill development initiatives. And yoga is also a part of the Fit India movement, which was a campaign that started in 2019 to encourage our youth to feel motivated about yoga, to incorporate yoga into their daily lives for a fitter health. So Fit India movement also talks about it. So these are some things that India is doing to incorporate yoga into the lifestyle of all our people, because we see that a lot of lifestyle related disorders are growing in our youth and even in the children who are school going. So to take care of all these things, yoga is a very good alternative. Yoga is a very good solution. If we incorporate this into our daily lives, we will be able to lead a fitter life. So that was all for today's video. Let us see if you can answer this question for prelims. Consider the following statements. The United Nations passed a resolution in December 2014 declaring June 21 as the International Day of Yoga. Second, the word yoga is derived from Sanskrit and means to unite or join. Which of the above statements is or are correct? A, only one, B, only two, C, both one and two, D, neither one nor two. Please provide your answers in the comment section, and until we meet the next time, please keep studying and keep revising.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.